Hi and welcome to another episode. This time it's not Big Box Amiga games, it's all about Blade Runner. Now, I'm sure you see from the title it's about getting Blade Runner working in ScummVM. But let's start off with the movie. Now, I really enjoy Blade Runner. I prefer the Final Cut version. There was a Director's Cut version, but the Final Cut is the cut of the Director's Cut something. Anyway, so yes, if you're going to get Blade Runner, don't bother with a standalone, don't get the director's cut, get the final cut version. Now, as you can see, this is still in cellophane, even though I've said it's my favourite movie. That's because when I bought this, I was about to play it basically, and my TV died, and so I upgraded, and so I ended up with this, because I might as well. Now, this movie came out in 1982, but I still think that the special effects, the storyline, and everything like that works still very, very well for today's moviegoers. Hence why I'm sure they made like a Blade Runner Part 2 sort of thing. And also they did a reboot of Blade Runner. Quite frankly, the reboot of Blade Runner, I'd skip over and just get this. There was no need for the reboot of that movie. Directed by Ridley Scott originally, very good director. So let's move on to the big box of PC games, because that's what it is. It's a PC game one. It's Blade Runner. As you can see, the character looks nothing like Harrison Ford, but it does say on the edge of it you need Windows 95 or Windows NT version 4, a 90 megahertz Pentium processor, 16 megabytes of memory, a 2 meg graphics card, and it has to be DirectX 5 supporting. So does the sound card. You need a 4-speed CD-ROM, and you need a DirectX compatible mouse, and you need at least 150 megabytes of memory space on your hard drive. But it does recommend you have a 133 megahertz computer. Since we're going to be using ScummVM and using today's technology, I'm sure very few of you will have any problems getting it going. Let's have a look on the back. So there's a few pre-3D renders of the characters and things, because that's how the game is. It's not rendered in real time, it's all being pre-rendered, which is perfectly fine for the time. Now, the thing that I missed out on though really is it's Los Angeles, November 2019. I really should have made this video at the start of the month, but completely forgot about it. So I'm getting it done today, for me, because it is the 30th of November. Hopefully you have got copies of this yourself hiding away in your attics and whatnot. Go get it and play it on ScummVM, because it's nicely supported on that now. So let's have a look inside. There's a whole lot of space of nothing, because it's just the CD. Now I'll move that to the side for now. Let's have a look what's inside. A little leaflet talking about 12 movie makers that broke the mold. So they are there. I'm sure you've probably seen all of them by now. Trying to get the glare out of the way. There we go. I've pretty much watched all of those already. I do find it funny though that they're quite all hard going, apart from Pee-wee's Road Trip or Road Adventure. Sorry, why did I say Road? Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, that's hard going for a different reason. Anyway, and then it's got some sort of like a warranty guard type thing, which you're supposed to read before you start get going. Nothing really of interest there. Let's open up to the first disc. So there's the first disc there, and we've got the manual. Just flip that out. We'll take that out for now. So they look very good, I think, for pre-renders of that time period. 1997 this game came out, which is 15 years after the movie, so that's quite some going. She's got some shocking pink hair there, and as you can see there's the rendered characters. I don't know if you can just about see the bad guy there. Well, maybe I've ruined the story for some people, but as you can see, very close likeness. So let's go on with the manual. I think they have taken some screenshots directly from the movie, but maybe they've shoved them into the game, who knows. I've not actually played this all the way through yet. It's all in black and white, the manual. warning for epilepsy, make sure you've got DirectX 5, blah 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 blah. We don't need to know about that anymore because we're using ScummVM. How to navigate the different characters, icons, all that sort of thing. It's enough to get you going in the game. Oops. A little bit of troubleshooting if you really had to worry about it back in the day. Technical help. You can even go to a BBS site. I doubt that number's working anymore. And there we go. Warranty at the end. So there's a little interest of what it actually looks like. But there is a DVD version of this in English. Obviously other languages have it as well, but I think they only have the CD version. I'm not so sure a DVD version came out. I've not actually seen a DVD version out in the wilds, but let's get across to the PC and get this working on ScummVM. Over to the PC now. We've loaded up our web browser, we've gone to scummvm.org. We click Downloads, we click Release Binaries. In our case right now it's 2.1.0. Lots of different machines you could run it on if you wanted to, but for me I've got Windows 10 64-bit, so I'll get the Windows 64-bit file, click Save, that's downloaded there. Then we scroll back up and we go to Games, and then we scroll all the way to the bottom of the page and we find Blade Runner subtitles. Currently it only supports English and French. I'm sure they'll bring out versions later on for other languages. But basically this is a fix so that subtitles work within ScummVM. So let's also go back up to the top of the page and then we go under Documentation Wiki, and then we click in the search bar and we search for Blade Runner. And in my case, as you know already, I've got the CD version of this. You might have other languages, you might even have the DVD of the English version, but I'm going to have to use a CD one because that's what I've got. So we're going to need all these files. Let's move this down a bit so we can see what we need. I've already got CD number 1 in my drive, but before we start on copying anything from the CD, let's get on with copying this file across for the fix of the subtitles. I have 7-zip already installed on my computer. Drag the file and drop it in there because I've got ScummVM Games Blade Runner. So that's the first file that we need in there. Close that down. We'll come back to actually installing ScummVM later on. But let's get the files across. The first file that we need is called anim.dat. So we highlight that one, and then we need mode and music. Holding down Control means we can still highlight more than one file but not everything at once. So we press mode, music, and what was the other ones? SFX, .mix, SPCH, SFX.tlk, and then the startup mix, and then there are the files that we need from that particular folder. So letting go of Control, we slide across and copy everything there. I'll just jump cut this bit. Okay, you can probably hear that my CD player is still whizzing about. So we go back to the root of the CD and we go into the folder CD1, and then we need everything from there, so we can highlight it all and drag that across as well. And I'll jump cut that as well, but make sure you get the next bit. Okay, those files have nicely copied across. Please note this file, it says cdframes.dat of that. As you notice, there isn't just that. You have to make sure that you rename that file to match the CD it came from. So we can rename it. We need to right click or press F2, and then we need to stick a number on the end. So this came from CD1, so we stick on number 1. And we do that again and again and again for all 4 discs. When you are copying across though, you'll notice that this a.tlk file will want to get copied across if you have highlighted it to copy across. You can either overwrite it or not, it's up to you. It's the same on every single disk anyway, but just to save time, don't bother copying it across in the first place, or if you have by accident, just tell it don't overwrite. No point wasting time actually copying it every single time. Right, so I'll get on with doing this for the next 4 disks. So that's everything nicely copied across now. As you can see, I've renamed them for the 4 disks. So let's get ScummVM installed. You'll end up with this at first. Obviously you set the language that you understand, click OK, slide that across. In my case, because I have 2 screens, we have this bit, so we click next. You can have a desktop shortcut if you want or not, that's up to you. And just keep clicking into install. It will install it to C programs files on under Windows at least, but it'll install it somewhere where you should know where to go find it later on if need be. You don't need to read the readme file right now. Let's run it though. You'll end up with is this big black box, and then we'll end up with this. And then from here, what we do is click Add Game, and then you select where it happens to be. As you can see, I've been testing and making sure I'm getting things right, so it's already highlighted where the game should be. Click Choose, and in this case you click on the Blade Runner, not the Blade Runner with Restore Content, because at the moment it's not fully supported that bit. So we click Choose, and then we can select what we want from here. We are definitely running it under Windows. Graphics though, what you might want to do is have it run in full screen mode. That's up to you. And keep the aspect ratio correction, because obviously if you've got a wide screen you don't want it getting dragged out sideways. And then click OK. And then click Start. And boom, there we go, full screen. I'm just going to skip the intro a little bit because I don't want to sit and watch all of that with you right now, but I recommend you do. So for me though, I'm going to press Escape. It comes up with Blade Runner, press Escape again. Gives you an awful lot of background story sort of thing. Press Escape again, and there's the true intro. Well, actually this is the game starting. So this is you flying around in a little car, wishing you were in Back to the Future instead, but there we go, it's nicely landed, and it's your character, and then you get mouse control. I think it's a little bit jerky because obviously they've not done really good animation. They're very good for the time, but not by today's standards. But also I'm trying to capture just using OBS over the top of my screen. I haven't got a capture card that goes back out of the computer into that and then back into the monitor. I haven't got one of those types of cards. Anyway, so there's a bit of paper on the floor here. Let's click that, see what happens. Nice little animation as you picked it up, and the cop comes across. But from some interesting keys you'll want to know as well though is F3, because if you press that you get access to your volume controls and things like that. If you do want subtitles on, you need to click that, and if you want a designer cut, you click that. But for the subtitles, you might want them. Even though I do understand English, might not speak it so well at times, even though it is my one and only language, but sometimes I find it easier to read even though I'm listening, because something might get said to me, as in, come for your dinner or something like that, by my lovely wife. I might not hear what's being said, but at least I've read it. Some information there for you to have a look at. Background, see, so it says here, online help, save, load game, crime scene database, suspect database, clue database, and quick game. So they're the ones interesting to get going, but you needed to know to press F3 in the first place. So you can also click for the save games things. That's to come out of the game entirely, and the other one was to resume game. So let's go back to the game for now and press F4, and as you see you got these other icons for you actually doing your cop type thing and finding what it is that you need to find. I'll not ruin the storyline if you don't know it off the top of your head, but let's go back and quit the game entirely, and there we go. ScummVM comes completely out, it's closed down now, so that's it. As I told you at the very beginning of the video, every time you play, it plays a little bit differently, so until you've played it a fair few times you won't know every different little bit that it does differently. So I recommend, even though you play it all the way through once, give it some time and play it all the way through again, and hopefully you end up with a slightly different storyline. But as always, happy gaming!
I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runcer, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humility.
Please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
VR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I
was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the second sector. Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in, and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runciter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse. They never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put him on the machine?
Hell no. There's a beautiful little thing in here called the Magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runciter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds.
Find something?
Piece of chrome.
From a car?
No, I think it's horse chrome. Bag it and tag it. Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.